What is going on YouTube? Jason's Dragonbane here. And school's finally winding down, so I'm going to be able to start getting more videos up for you guys. And I have 4 duels for you guys today, showing off more of the Transmodify Fire Fist of the deck I uploaded a couple days ago. One small change is that Leopard did get bumped up from 2 to 3, so the deck is now running at 41 cards instead of 40, but I haven't seen much of a difference, so I'm not going to change anything on that. So the first duel I have for you guys is actually against Malefics. This was actually the first time I've seen a deck play Soul Charge, so it was kind of interesting. So he goes Malefic World, summons the Stardust Malefic, and sets Mirror Force. I go Pod Duality. I see Bear. I was like, okay, we'll go Leopard, Tensu, Tensu, Bear, Bear, Pop, try and swing, and I'm going to get my butt Mirror Force. So I was like, okay, I have to unfortunately just leave him a wide open field to work again. So he goes the Malefic World, shows all 3 Cyberends, so unfortunately for me, I was getting hit for 4,000 damage no matter what. So I was like, okay, set Raven, set Mirror Force, and pass. So he goes Beast King Barbaros into Mythic Water to Felgrand. I was like, oh, I don't want Felgrand around. So I was like, okay, Mirror Force, just to make sure that hopefully it goes away. Then use Smarty to protect Felgrand. So I was like, okay, I have Tenki now. So I was like, okay, we'll summon Dragon, play his effect, grab Tenki, try and use Dragon's effect. Thankfully, he did negate Dragon, so now Spirit is going to be able to go off unless he makes another Felgrand. So he kills Dragon for 900. I was like, okay, he has no backfield, and as long as he doesn't have Baylor, I'm pretty safe. So I go Leopard into Tensu. Tensu summons Spirit. Spirit grab the Leopard, sink into the Horse Prince, grab Rooster. Rooster grabs Bear. Switch out for the Tensen, and then we set Fiendish Chain, and we're now pretty set up, and we're pretty safe from just about everything he could do. So he goes Soul Charge, makes Gimmick Puppet, tries to destroy Horse Prince. I was like, no, we're going to Fiendish Chain that. So he goes into Ancient Gear Dragon. Unfortunately, Soul Charge says you can't attack, so he wasn't able to do anything about it. So I was like, okay, we're now going to go Tenki. Off of Rooster, summon Bear, Bear, pop the Gear Dragon, swing for game, and that unfortunately was game for him, so he quit right there. And we'll go on to another game. Alright guys, and we're back for the second duel, and this one happened to be against a dragon deck. It was running the Elemental Dragons. So I started with the perfect setup for 3-axis combo. Leopard plus Tenki, turn into Tensu, summon the Spirit, go into the Horse Prince, make Rooster, Rooster grabs the Bear, switch Tenki out for Tensen, set Tenken, and set Misty. So as far as he knows now, I have Rooster, Horse Prince, Tensu, and Tensen, and 2 Mystery Backfield. So he goes Dragon Shrine, sends the White Stone, grabs Blue Eyes, banishes both of them for Tempest, and swings at Horse Prince even though he knows Tensen was set by Rooster. I was like, okay, what is he playing at? So I mistied one of his backfield. I was like, okay, we'll go Rooster, switch out for Gyoko. He chained that right on Rooster's specs. I was like, okay, protect Horse Prince. He's now in pretty much a top decking situation while I still have plenty of cards in my hand. So we just went for a straight OTK on him. Bear set the Gyoko just in case whatever he top decked was a trap card or anything, but it didn't matter at that point. So this really shows why the trap cards can be good. He knew Tensen was there, and he still walked right into it, so that wasn't his play on his point. But Tenken, he had no clue Tenken was there, so he tried to waste his resources to get rid of Horse Prince to protect himself, and Tenken was still around to completely say, nope, I'm still here. So we'll go on to the next game. Alright guys, and we're back for the third game. This one was against a Crystal Beast deck. So he just set 2 and set 1. I was like, okay, we'll go Leopard, and he had Book of Moon for him, so I was like, okay. So this showed me he is a very smart duelist. He knew how to counteract my plays right off the bat. So he goes into Ancient Fairy Dragon, uses its effect to get a new field spell, sets another skill prisoner now, so I was like, okay, we're just going to set Raven because I can't really get around this thing right now. So he goes and uses Zephyros to put back the field card. Hits over Leopard, replays it. I was like, okay, we're still good. See another Leopard, so I was like, okay, go Leopard for Tenki. Tanky grabbed the spirit, so I can start setting up for the 3-axis combo. He goes, hits Raven, takes 200 damage for it. I was like, okay. I still wasn't wanting to go into 2 backfield, so I was like, okay. Dragon hit over Zephyros, pass turn. He sets another backfield, and I was like, okay, we're going to draw. I draw on a Rooster, so I was like, okay, Rooster. He's going to Phoenix Wind Blast him. I was like, okay, that's fine. So he sees Pegasus, uses Pegasus to put Pegasus in there. Searches out for the 3rd Ruins, because he already has one in his hand. I was like, okay, we'll draw back into our Raven. Raven, switch out for another Tenki, or Rooster, not Raven. Rooster switches out for Tenki, grabs Gorilla, so I can start disrupting his back row. Dragon sets Tensin, just hit the Pegasus and pass turn now. So he goes Crystal Promise to summon out the Pegasus, which sets the Ruby. So I go Gorilla to pop this last mystery backfield. He goes and puts Fairy Dragon safe, and that was actually really smart because Cardinal now could not get rid of him. So I was like, okay, Cardinal just put the field card and the Ruby back. We'll put Pegasus down. So he goes Summoner Monk, dishes Dark Hole, which at this point, Dark Hole could have been a really good card if he really wanted to save that. So I went Phoenix Chain on Summoner Monk. He tries to chain Skill Prisoner, but that only works when a monster effect targets something. So Summoner Monk was negated no matter what. So I go into Magic Planter to now work on my Phoenix Chain because this guy is now going to die no matter what I do. So I don't have to worry about Skill Prisoner. I draw into Transmodify. So I was able to Transmodify Rooster into Bear. I drew Tanky off of the Magic Planter. So I was like, okay, I now can easily get Bear out of the deck. Tanky searches out Dragon. And now Rooster's in the grave for Spirit to work with so we can continue combos right after that because I've yet to normal summon this turn. So once I added with Tanky, he ended up quitting because he knew that he was going to be in pretty much a no-win situation. So that was Crystal Beast, and that's really why I like Transmodify. One, it puts Rooster in the grave and lets me get one of my level 4 Fire Fists or Wolfbark out of the grave, out of the deck, and it just sets up the 3-axis combo a little bit faster. And we'll go on to the last game. Alright guys, and we're back for the final game of this duel, and I don't know what to call this, guys. I'm going to call it Bear Control, but he's running stuff like Obelisk, which I found really weird. I'm not going to say his deck was incredibly bad, but it's like, it didn't seem to work really well there. So he goes into Dark World Buildings, he dishes Dimensional Prison, and I was like, okay, I'll dish Rooster, so now I have 3-axis combo set up. He had 3 backfields, so I wasn't wanting to go for the absolute, just straight 3-axis combo first turn. So I go Leopard into Tensu to try and get Dragon Tenki combo. He had Trap Hole, so I was like, okay, Tenki, search out Spirit. So he summons Trap Tricks from Marilillo. I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'm fighting Trap Tricks because I've seen Trap Hole now and a Trap Tricks monster. So I was like, okay, I might be fighting Trap Tricks. So he sets the Trap Hole and the Gyoko. I go Pod Duality into Wolfbark, search out Gorilla. He Trap Holes that. I was like, okay, Bear now, get rid of this, swing. He has Mirror Force. I was like, okay, now we'll pass. I worked through 2 backfields off of just my monsters. So he summons Bear, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm actually fighting +1 Fist. So he goes Bear, sets Tanky, uses Tanky to search out Bear, sets Bombless. I was like, okay. So I draw into Transmodify. I was like, oh, this is actually really good for me to work with. So he Bombless his Wolfbark. I was like, okay. Summon out Rooster, and he had Trap Tricks, Trap Hole, Nightmare, so it negated my Rooster's effect and destroyed him. This is where I really like Transmodify, is they disrupted the 3-axis combo of going into Horse Prince. So if I didn't have Transmodify right there, I would have had to leave Spirit on field. His Bear would have easily hit over me, another Bear would have probably been on field, and I would have taken a significant amount of damage, but thanks to Transmodify, I now have Bear out of the deck on field, and I'm able to swing over his monster and get my free formation. So I was like, okay, Tanky into Dragon now, so I can set up for next turn. He draws into Mirror Force, so he goes Bear, uses the standard Bear pop, swing, Tanky play. So I was like, okay. He searches out another Bear. I was like, okay, that's fine. He sets Mirror Force. I was like, okay. drawing a Magic Planner. I was like, this is actually really good to have when I get Dragon around. So I go and summon Rooster. He grabs me a Raven. Set Gyoko, hit the new mystery backfield since this one wasn't doing anything. Dragon sets Tenkin, sacrifice Rooster for Swallow, set Tensen, swing over his monster and swing for a bunch of damage. So he tries to Gyoko, and I was like, no, I really don't want you to do anything to my Tenkin just in case you have Dark Hole or something. So I put Tensen on Swallow, Tenkin on Dragon. So now both my monsters are pretty safe. So he summons Bear, goes to the battle phase. I was like, I know he's not going to attack. And in main phase 2, he's thinking, okay, now he can officially get rid of Dragon. But this is where he really ran into a mistake. Swallow is on board. Swallow says all of my Beast Warrior monsters can't be targeted for effects. So essentially, he has one target for his bear to pop, and that is himself. So he essentially went -2 off of this. And on my next turn now, I would have drawn into Misty, so I could have easily just gotten rid of Gyoko if I really wanted to, but I also have Magic Planner, so I could get rid of Tenkin and Tensen, and would have drawn into Tensu and Bear. So I had actually a lot of play still left, and because he decided to go Bear Effect and he had to destroy his own bear, he decided, oh, I'm just going to run away. So that's the Transmodify Fire Fist so far. This is really why I like Swallow and Transmodify. Transmodify extends plays when your opponent disrupts the 3-axis combos, and Swallow can just protect all your monsters from stuff like Bear and Lances and Fiendish Chains, all those good cards that are being run right now. So tell me what you guys are thinking of the deck, and as always, like, comment, and subscribe.